So, I don't have anything funny to say this time, and I feel like I'm letting everyone down.
The Irish accent was funny.
I'll just keep doing my Irish accent really loud, and it'll be good. Welcome to Final Fantasy. No, that's bad. Heralds of Dawn. It's our patron game. It's FFD20. It's Gestalt. It's Monsterkins and Freelancers, and I don't know how many people have Monsterkind or Freelancered around me. It's terrifying. Oh my. Parallax's player is out today. Unfortunately, there will be no Sweet Dragon action tonight. But running down the line, Jason Ross. Oh, where's Nog? Oh my god! Where? Hello, I must tag.
Did you not notice Nog?
No, he was gone last time.
I was waiting for you to notice that. I just wanted to sit here for you. That was gonna be the funny thing.
We're the only people that were in.
Apparently.
The only people here last session.
50% down, it's still on.
Yeah, we're still good. And Nog, who's not here, and I'll quickly...
Why did you ping him in shit posting?
Because he is the shit, and he's posting to the get in the game place. The time is now. And Josh and Spellcraft, I'm so good at this. And Tiki, thank you guys for your support on Patreon, helping us do the things we do. Trying desperately to click on Alicia, but I keep clicking on Lauren. I must make that say ask, because Alicia is still asleep. She's taking a heckin' nap, friend. I want to take a nap. Dang it.
Big sleep.
Anyway,
Nap a while ago.
Lots of crazy things have happened in the past, and now that we are officially done with what I have dubbed the Enter the Catgirl arc, now that we're done with that, lots of crazy things have happened. Everyone has leveled to level 8, and we will go ahead and slide it on over from top to bottom so you can put a voice to a token. If you could give us that sweet Gestalt combo, we start again with the in-character reflection with not Nigel Thornberry. No, much better at stuff.
Well, we managed to survive that last fight. Lots of good was done. We're waiting for the... How's that for absolutely almost nothing? Did you want the standard blurb about what you're playing, how you're playing it, etc.?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'm playing a Gestalt rogue. The rogue is archetyped in... Sorry, Thief Engineer. Thief is archetyped into Rogue. Engineer is archetyped into Mako Weapons Specialist. So I am a sneaky guy who uses magical technology to enhance weapons. So some things Tiki and I have discussed are going to make things very interesting soon. So I'm just waiting to see how this starts to go.
Yeah, you two are terrifying. When we split the patrons up, it's a new rule. Jason and Tiki can't be in the same parties because it's too good, too OP, can't have it, but take your hero point. And next it's Lauren Verdun.
In the style of Saul, I have come up with a introduction.
Yes!
Born from the death of 1,000 stars. Alluring, the man-made beast turned nightmare. Alluring, the living shadow and entity of hate. Alluring, the undying nightmare made whole. Alluring! And not metal enough, but it's close. I gotta go and get some drums and some guitars. I need a lot of guitars. I think like maybe 5. Yes, but
I think I have enough time when I do this. I can like program some blast beats and just put blast beats under that. Just
yes, but yeah. Hello, I am Ross. I am playing a Lauren, a Hume, Dark Knight, Reaver, and Red Mage. I am a spelly boy. I am your not so typical Gish because I kind of have a semi-ragey state, not really rage, fun stuff. And in terms of what I actively do, I kill shit. That's my best. That's my best quality, really. But in terms of character reflection, well, now that we're done with the whole space thing and the teleportation and the dimension of darkness and all that, I don't really understand that stuff. I was just a soldier. I would simply point, click, boom. That's my job. Didn't like my job, but that was my job. Either way, there is something that I am concerned about, however. Why is the militia keeping... The militia in the town themselves are keeping weird records. Something about it doesn't fit. For one thing, they're only taking records of people coming in. I don't think I've ever seen an official death note or anything of that nature, or even written records. Hell, I don't even know if I've seen a cemetery in this entire time I've been here. So, in of itself, that part is weird. On top of it, they're keeping track of the fighters in this town, like those with martial prowess who can actively stand up in a fight and how powerful they are. Obviously, I know this because me and the rest of the team are on this list, and immediately that kind of set off warning bells. Well, I also found it funny that it seemed like we were at least half, if not more than half of the list. But for the most part, I'm also just concerned about a lot of things. The weirdness of the space portal, the whole interdimension in the statue, although I'm not going to bring that up because Takisari and Nigel are having an absolute field day in there. I need to... Yeah. I need to ask some questions, and unfortunately, they might not be the nicest of questions. Of a guy, so things are going to get interesting.
Why, yes, they are. Take your hero point, and we pass now to half wizard, half gambler, half superhero. 4 halves makes 2 people, and it's a Gestalt game, so it works. Yeah, taking it. Take it away, Josh.
Hello, I'm the Lizard Wizard. I'm the superhero that nobody expected, nobody likes. And I am a Gestalt Black Mage, which means I bubble and boil and burn and freeze. And I'm a Card Shark, which means I have all the luck and to make you pleased. And those two combined are a very powerful combination, which has managed to find me love and mystery and ghosts and spooky things and fights. And after being victorious in this fight and trying to explain what the situation is to the mayor with marginal success, he's now in bated breath, waiting to see what happens with the fact that all these people are on a list, and it's not the VIP list. It's the dangerous individual, and he's a little worried about that. And fourth wall references to a certain group that's famous and other things. So yeah.
Good enough for me. Taketh that hero point. And we headed on down to White Mage Town for Soul Golden Soul. Why do I keep muting in Discord? That does nothing. It's not muting in OBS. It just makes pinging noises. Damn it! You have the floor, Soul.
Luna Silver Soul here. Saul is indisposed at the moment. So it appears that I will have to fill in for him. Today's in-character reflection is sponsored by Meow Mix because not only did they give me a free lifetime supply, they included a few enchanted grooming tools. Ahem. Undead making you hate life? Things going bump in the night? Better call Saul. Now with added Luna. We have dealt with a hole in the sky, a shattering of the plains, and things that would be more in keeping with other famous franchises such as Silent Hill. I know we have come out relatively unscathed, if quite mentally traumatized, and both Saul and myself have grown quite paranoid. However, as a feline creature, I maintain that it is not paranoia, it is simply healthy wariness. For if we are not wary, how else can we protect our people? We are back in town, and something doesn't smell right to me, both literally and figuratively. Saul feels the same way, and hopefully we'll figure everything out. Back to you.
I keep telling Parallax to get a bath. I keep telling the man, but he doesn't listen. There's some sort of magical... I don't know.
You are a treasure, my friend. Those are always... Like, I have to stop myself from laughing all over my recordings. I take your hero point. Parallax can't be with us right now, I guess. So, take history, take it home.
Too busy finding the showers.
Yeah! Jeez!
Well, artificer, purveyor of fine goods, breaker of things, and other miscellaneous magics. I make mechanical and magical creations, amongst other things. And I am just really happy that we finally closed the Sky Anus. I know it's like called, but it was a giant hole in the sky. Therefore, it was a Sky Anus. Now that I have finished with that, or we rather have finished with that, I am taking up residence within my workshop to make back my money. Commissions, machinery, automobiles, all these fine things can be yours for the low, low price of money. So, come on down and tell me what it is you really want, and I shall make it for you.
And hero points all around. Okie dokie. So we are back in the big old city of Eddard's Dawn. Everyone has returned. We'll use the honor system for this, because I don't think there's any other way to do it without policing character sheets. If you liberated ethers from the town or any kind of salvage, be sure you've paid it back, or tell me if you don't intend to. So that way there can be arrestifications or things of that nature. First things first, I believe Lauren would like to interrogate the captain of the guard.
Interrogate is such a hard word. I was just simply thinking of forced diplomacy.
Yes, my bad. Lauren would like to... I shouldn't call him the captain of the guard. This is not a high fantasy setting. It's a diesel punk setting. Lauren would like to forced diplomacy the head of the militia.
That was 1,000 times more environmental destruction.
Yeah! Anybody want to go with him? We'll do that first.
I would not tell everybody in the group, because some people I do not think would be so happy with the way I want to go about it. Well, actually, no, thinking about it, I kind of trust all of them now. Sky Anus was good for one thing. Building team trust, team values, and friendship. But,
Fair.
I think the first person I would really bring it up with is Nigel, because I know he's good at this sort of stuff, or he seems like the person who's good at this sort of stuff. Meet him in the workshop. Hey, Nigel, can I talk to you for a minute?
What?
Oh, you remember the list that the militia captain had, right?
Yes. You seemed very interested in looking into the reasons behind it.
Let's just say I don't like people keeping information on me. But either way, I don't necessarily want to do this alone. You think maybe you can help me out with this?
I can try.
Alright. Anybody else you think we should bring into this? I would say to Kissery, but I'm kind of afraid she'd go overboard with it. You know how she is.
And she's having more fun here.
Fair. I hate to draw you away from your fun as well, but you might be able to help.
At this point, I'm assuming I'm pretty much done with what I've been working on. The only thing I'm doing at this point probably would be helping Tiki.
Yeah, that seems fair. I will, I don't remember if I said this last time or not, so I'm going to say it again. Now that everything is back to normal, you're not sure why it is, but you no longer, like, running up to Eddard's eyeball and smacking into it just kind of makes you smack into it and people see it. There's no longer a demi-plane on the other side.
Okay.
What happened to any goods we had left over there?
You guys would have them. I assume everyone packs up before you leave to do the motorcycles in the sky and then running into a wall of force at 70 miles an hour. God, I forgot about that too.
You were so merciful on that. You were so forgiving with that.
I was.
Yeah, it could have been a heck of a lot worse.
I didn't know what to do. I just
But
grabbed a bunch of D6s.
Well, yeah.
That's
In the
fair.
background, y'all hear the sounds of hammering, torching, and maniacal mechanical laughter.
I'm trying to be scary. God, I don't want to know what she's like when she's trying to be scary.
What?
Nigel, have you ever seen the way a butcher looks at a piece of meat?
Yes.
I swear to God, that's how she looks at almost. Or not. She wants to figure out how they tick and then learn how to make them tick faster or something like that, or tick louder. The analogy doesn't really work when you're using ticking. Either way.
Activate it for a moment, and figuring out how to make things work better is a problem. How? Deactivate it.
Can I
Put
roll?
it back
Can
in
I
the
roll?
sheath.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I've heard any of this?
You can hear it if you want to hear it. Basically, I'll say.
Fine.
Okay.
You want my honest opinion? She scares me. Not many things scare me, but that one scares me.
Thank you.
You're welcome, you psychopathic robot lady. But yeah. You think we should grab anybody else with us? Maybe if we tell Lizard Wizard, he might be able to let confrontational way. He seems to have her ear. And other things.
And that.
Look, I'm not in relationships. Last time I was... Actually, that was the first time, too. It kind of sucked.
It provides another way people can hurt you. But yes, picking up the banga would not be a bad idea.
I would also offer the dragon, but the last I saw him, he was making the cats run for their money in terms of hating water.
Ah.
I had to explain to him. Like, he frantically ran into my room the other night trying to understand what a shower was. Like, an actual, like, just, you know, how you turn it on and all that sort of stuff.
Well, I grew up in the desert. Maybe I could explain to him the concept of a dust bath.
That's a thing? Huh. Neat.
It works for, I don't know what you would call them, but they're a small rodent thing that quite fluffy, very soft fur.
Let's
Some
not
people
mention
make
the
coats
rodent.
out of them.
Most people make coats out of everything. I knew people that made coats out of humans. Don't ask. It was not fun. But either
The
way,
hides are too thin. It wouldn't be very durable. Why would
It
you do
wasn't-
that?
it was entirely for shock and awe. It's like making a coat out of. Why are we talking about making coats out of people? Oh, it's
Well,
because
it
we
would-
live
I
in-
don't know.
Hold on.
You asked.
It would actually be quite beneficial as an inner lining.
Hmm.
Yeah, but see, the dude made it very clear that it was made of faces and what. Okay, I really don't want to remember this. Ugh.
Very well.
Did he?
No. Just scream. there wasn't anything intelligible to it. But by that point, I had already gone
Well-
full berserko mode that I didn't really give two craps either way. They could have been screaming intelligibly or not, and I wouldn't have remembered it.
Well, at least it was good intimidation value.
I mean, it wasn't, and I killed him.
Well, just because you were not intimidated does not mean other people will.
That's fair.
I mean,
monster is a bit harsh, but still at the same time, you do deserve that title with the way you managed.
well, what else would you call me?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
either- I don't really see myself as or just a bit of flesh, but whatever.
Mm.
That being said, let's
You
pick
want to
up the
join us in
banging.
this, or are you going to continue staying here to Kissery?
I've had commissions. The
Oh.
dragon
Good luck with
had
that.
some. The dragon. I am making things for Nigel.
Oh, speaking of which, put it onto your list to get a few upgrades for my gear.
Leave whatever. Now write down what you want done.
I'll write it down. And I write down just my sword and my armor being upgraded to a higher level.
Contact you when I have finished my next item, so you may bring me what you.
But yeah, let's go, Wizard.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So, I'll say that Alicia hasn't been given an apartment yet. So Alicia is still passed out in the Red Rocket truck stop, and should Nog
I
happen
mean,
to
I
show
would have
up,
offered a couch in my apartment as well.
that can also work. She was never awake enough to be like, aha, go here, because this is the second session running. Though I hope things are okay, yeah, now that I think about it.
I figure.
So, I mean, the rock, because Tikissery is almost always there, if not always there, so somebody can watch out for her.
Yes,
yeah,
and
if nothing else, there's also a cot, and Adam is here.
Jareth
And
is
I
as
norm-
well.
And I'm normally
So.
strong enough to be able to lift. I imagine it's not trouble for either me or Parallax to just lift some furniture around.
Yeah, no. You guys would be super good at
Or
it.
me anymore.
Or you, yeah, you too.
Full hydraulic setup on Tikissery now.
Yeah, basically, I was very displeased about not being able to lift the door on my own, so upgrades.
Those are always fun.
Indeed. Okay.
yeah, upgrades can be fun. Oh,
So-
and we did go up. You said retraining was going to be a possibility. I am letting Tommy know. I want to swap out one of my engineer tricks that I've shared with my automaton.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Yeah, you guys can, especially in a game that we're not super used to playing. Yeah, retraining for free at levels totally fine. Until I come back and I have 7 freelancers in my party, and then I might draw a line. But
Aww.
If there's going to be any class swapping, it's going to be me going away from the freelancer.
yeah, you are kind of out of
Too
robot
strong.
toys.
Well, I'm not actually limited to the robot toys. That was just me.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that my maniacal laughter has spread to a couple other people when I talked about upgrades.
It's contagious. Okay, so you guys are able to find the Lizard Wizard. He is... Well, where are you, Josh? You can't say on my
Well,
couch.
the
That
last
doesn't
time
count.
that I was around, I was with the mayor, trying to explain things, and then so pretty close by to that.
Okay, so then Lizard Wizard is at Flapjacks right now. And you two are capable of finding him.
Cool. will walk in. I'll ask for Albed tea in the language of the queue again.
Albed tea! And, like, puts a... what to put on top of teapot. Like just a little, like, cap thing over top of it. And Flapjack throws it up into the air. It spins, and he bats it with his hammer. And it lands right in front of you. Flawlessly. Not even so much as a skid. Just right where you wanted it.
Since we're in World War II era tech, I'm going to assume cola has been invented by now.
Yeah.
One cola, please.
Cola! And slides it. The bottle, like, spin the bottles across the room, and then lands in front of you.
I imagine I just shout out as I'm coming in, "Oi, Flapjack, cola!" And he just, like, long shots it to me, and I just catch it one-handed.
Seems good. There's a bit of, like, Flapjack doesn't run across the room, so he can be the Galvinator, and you can be that son of a bitch from Predator, and then, like, suddenly there's the flex handshake. But that's the look. That's the look that happens.
Yeah. But, so, I guess we'll go over, hey, Lizard, how you doing?
Well, I was just thinking about what to buy the mayor next time that I have some money. Of course, Tiki, I'm wanting to pay what I owe you very quickly. But
she would not have. I am not actually there, and when she handed you the money and you tried to give it back to her, she would have refused 500 of it because you need pocket money.
In a world where $500 is pocket money. Welcome to TTRPGs.
All right, so basically, in that case, I'll be like looking at my 500 gold, saying, yeah, I'm thinking about what to get her. Hey, since you're here, what do you think? What do you think I should get the mayor as a gift?
There's a bit of a cold expression across Lauren's face. I'm not good with girls.
Basically, everyone has.
Shit, you too, man?
My entire tribe, several other tribes. Basically, my entire clan.
So
And
he'll.
And then I flip up my goggles so you can see my eyes. It's probably concerning. Contract filled or is pupil filled in swirls. You notice my eyes tighten and a little bit of a smile grow whenever I say, and when I find them, they're going to wish you found them instead. And I'll click my goggles back down.
To be fair, I think almost all of us, except for maybe Lizard Wizard here, have people like that we want to do the exact same thing you do, friend. Or I don't know. Lizard, do you have a murderous rage for somebody that we don't know of?
Oh, if I do, I'm certainly not going to tell you guys about it.
Oh, come on.
And I take a lot. I take drink basically very slowly, very deliberately.
Oh, come on. The group that murders together stays together. Or vengeance murders.
I take it you came here because you need me for something, not to talk about being stabby.
Yeah, if that were the case, then Takisari would have come along.
And I laugh at that.
Looking for the phrase you were looking for is the party that slays together stays together.
Oh, that sounds so much cooler.
A lot of stuff out, but that's just me. Anyway, like I said, you guys need me for something.
Yeah. You remember the list that we saw that the militia captain had?
Yeah, my name was on it, and all of our names were on it, and weirds me out quite a bit.
I think it's because of the fact that we can actually hold our own in a fight.
Well,
I mean,
the robots, monsters, whatever they were, us fighting them certainly proved that.
Hell, I think one of those things would have easily chewed through at least 20 of the militia. Thing heavy enough to knock them over. Needless to say. I mean, I hate to downplay anyone, but once again, it's like comparing grizzled veterans to newborn babies. I want to go and talk to the captain and the mayor about the lists. And also, I want to ask you two something. Have you guys seen any cemeteries in this town since we got here? Like any cemeteries or anything like that at all since we've gotten here?
Well, I haven't. Look.
The thought popped. I look over kind of to where I remember taking a sit with our lovely friend earlier, our lovely magical girlfriend earlier. But that might just else. Needless to say, I think we have some questions on the matter, and they're not going to be nice questions, if you will.
You need my permission to ask some random guard about with questions that aren't nice?
No, I was going to ask you if you would mind helping us talk to the mayor about some of her lists.
Hmm.
And once again, that is an honest question. Have any of you guys here seen a cemetery in this town? GM, please do answer if like any of us have.
You guys haven't really looked.
Fair enough. But I mean, we did run around.
I would have loved.
I would say I am very much the find the lay of the land as much as possible.
That's fair. Okay.
So, perception?
You don't necessarily need to roll perception.
I mean, I say that also because we all went and searched around town as well when we came here in the pocket void dimension shenanigans.
That's true.
The session before last.
Sure. Okay.
Session.
That makes sense.
Remember, I had also reburied the spirits that had been laid to rest, and already an established cemetery would have been part of that.
That's true. Okay. So there is an established cemetery. The only people buried in it are the people that soul buried. At the moment, it's just kind of an open plot of land. But, like, it's been clearly set aside and labeled, like, this is where the dead will go. There just haven't been any.
I like to think that Soul comes behind us with the answer as we're all talking. We just turn around and go, "Oh, hey, Soul."
Works for me.
Yeah, convenient.
And me as well.
Convenience.
How are you this morning?
I'm still a little uneasy about all the revelations that we had gone through.
Hey, Spell, right quick, you're getting buzzing through your mic.
You are indeed.
I was a little shaken up by all the revelations that we went through during our little jaunt through space and time, but I think I'm holding up all right. I do have a lot to think about.
Here, we got one more table at the seat, or one more table at the seat. Nigel, are you certain you're not the charismatic one of the group right now? We have one more seat at the table. God, this is too early.
Do you want me to answer that in character or in meta? Because
in character, that was an...
No. But you really want me to answer it in meta?
No, I don't. It was entirely in character.
I will answer it in character, but in meta, my Jeep is more charismatic than I.
You got them animated object problems.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
modified
before
Jeep-
animation.
No, Jesus.
Christ.
I don't deal well with people. Back to RP. Lauren, you're just a little bit. There are things. Perhaps choosing the best words is less a intellectual pursuit for you. I try to craft my words the way I craft an item, but that is me. It gives
I
me
would be
satisfaction.
a very crafty craftsman. Either way. I said crafty craftsman, didn't I? I meant crappy. Oh my god. I would be terrible at building things. Gods above. My tongue. Ugh.
Yes, stay away from my job description.
Ugh.
Okay, in queue,
Mm.
proprietor. Another Coke for my friend. Thing in it a little more powerful than the soda.
Flapjack smiles wickedly. Oh my. Okay.
I have only taken like one swig out of the bottle too. It's still mostly full.
Do you speak Q? The language
Oh
of Q?
crap! No, I don't. Lauren isn't a linguistical person. He just knows two.
Okay. So
I'm suggesting that something to take a little bit of the edge off for him might be good.
so Flapjack keep
I'm actually worried this is going to put him in the dark side accidentally.
at the top of Flapjack's lungs he shouts garnish and throws it kind of sort of looks like a lime wedge, but it's more of a like purpley color, and it lands flawlessly on like into the Coke bottle.
Into the Coke bottle? What?
Yeah.
He's that good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm whatever my badge is, I'm currently shining it right now because that's my character.
I bow.
What is this?
It should make it taste better. Trust me.
I pick it up, squirt a bit of it onto my tongue.
So to do that, you would need to fish it out of the bottle.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, fair enough.
If nothing else, I'll just like take a knife or something, just like slice off the top or something. Because we can do that. I have a strength of 5. I have a plus 13 to hit. Cold shot, just like slice off the top of the bottle or something.
And that's how edgelords solve their problems. Kids, just sword. Puh! Okay, so it's you squeeze it.
Turn into that one guy that just chops up water bottles on my YouTube channel with the swords. It's actually pretty funny and pretty cool.
You squeeze it, it hits your
It's like
tongue.
300 proof.
Damn, it's very strong. Yeah. You're not sure what this fruit is, but it's either sat in something or comes from a very magical place.
Hold on 1 second.
We wait with bated breath. Oh no.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I just like. Oh God! What is this? What is this?
Garnish! Flapjack gives you a thumbs up.
I look at him. Lauren, do you think I would do something
Yes.
that would be negative for you?
Oh, thank you, buddy. But still, yes.
You seem a bit agitated. This might help take the edge off. a little.
I was just experimenting a bit last night with the something cool actually. I'll need to test out later. Back to the main topic.
And enjoy it. Should taste quite well with the soda.
All right, I'll follow his instructions.
It will definitely take the edge off, kind of in like a peeling paint sort of way. But, I mean...
Okay, so perhaps Albed Desert Dweller doesn't have the same taste as a Dark Knight.
A little bit.
Yeah, more traditional sort of like European style like area. That's kind of how I imagined it. American/European, forests and whatnot.
Makes sense. Whereas the Albed is drinking tea made of very powerful cactus and 300 proof fruit alcohol.
Oh, God.
And it is unfazed.
Yeah.
It's a little... it's like a cup of coffee to me.
The caffeine tolerance is strong with this
To be
one.
fair, my fortitude save is really high.
Yeah.
That was with an 8.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Paladins, everyone. Even dark paladins.
Yeah!
And, but yeah. So, you remember the, how many times am I going to have to repeat this opening line today? The, list that talked about all the fighters in town, right?
Soul is very quiet.
Apparently Soul's also testing the fruit.
No, Saul is heading to the restroom.
Oh.
Saul's gone to the Wiz Palace. Ask him in 5 minutes.
Okay. But either way, we should probably go talk to these people. And, I'm not gonna lie, this is something I really want an answer to. Like, I'm going to get an answer to it, whether the people that won't make this thing want me to or not.
Okay, so, and I know you asked Lizard Wizard basically to talk to the mayor. Lizard Wizard's going to be like, you can talk to the mayor just fine. You're a big boy. But as far as me sticking my neck out there and possibly getting this woman that I'm really into angry at me for asking her this kind of questions, like almost like setting her up, that's not going to happen. Like, you want to do about like that she might get pissed off about, you do that. You do that yourself and take the consequences. I'm not going to put myself in a position to possibly have her turn her nose at me.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Careful with your choices. Well, that being said, perhaps we should go. Shall we make a plan on our way?
Well, perhaps we should talk to the captain first. Request a moment with him to talk about something we found, make it seem official, or... through it.
He has responded well to me in that frankly, I don't waste his time.
Fair enough.
Okay. So Captain first
Always
then.
catch him when he's out drinking and make ourselves acquainted with him then.
I would like to point out that already removed their control badge for any of the constructs. them to the militia leader.
That's fair.
We'll still obey them.
Okay.
Truthfully, I figure there is a reasonable explanation, but it is one I would like to hear.
I mean, I'm all for having a reasonable answer and everything like that, but you know, never hurts to prepare for the worst.
You almost sound like me when it comes to trusting people.
When it comes to trusting. So, you'll help us get into you'll help us get in to talk with the militia captain. Can you help us to talk to the mayor, or is that going to be too much of a problem, Lizard Wizard, or would you prefer for us to go on our own and not associate you with this?
Like I said, you're one to ask her about something like this that could possibly get her upset because you're talking about, like, you know, this list. And I won't say that I don't think she has something to do with it. I'll just say that, you know, if I have to take sides on this, I'm going to side with her because, like, she hasn't indicated to me anything that she's done something wrong. And, you know, basically he feels like if he goes to her and says, hey, here's this list and, like, and you know, what's up and all that, it's like he's, like, putting her against a wall or something, like confronting her about something that, you know, he's indifferent to. Like, as far as he's on a list, but okay.
Well, also from their point of view, we actually don't know. They don't know we know about the lists.
Yeah. He goes from basically being the possible boyfriend to now he's like the investigator that's, you know, just that kind of situation. He's gonna, in his mind, all it's gonna do is just make her pissed off at him, and then there goes the relationship. So he's just like, you know, he's like, you're adults. If you want to go talk to her, but I'm not gonna, you know, stick my nose in that business and basically KO my relationship with her over that.
Makes sense. Unfortunate, given how high the Lizard Wizard's bluff is. I mean, what? That's meta talk.
Yeah, but I also know that she's the same, you know, same business I'm in too. So
Real high bluff
doesn't necessarily mean that she can't out bluff me or out, you know, that.
or sense motive the bluff, because you guys get a buff to that one too. The Gambler is just all the classes are so good. This game is so cool. I keep saying that every time.
Well,
just no offense, guys, but yeah, if you want to talk to her, you're adults. You can go talk to her.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So then, without further ado, are we going to the captain of the militia first or the mayor's office? Or do we want to wait? I heard wait till they're drunk here at night. Either is fine.
Waiting till nighttime would actually allow me to finish a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Crafter makes a point.
The first on the list, the first on the list was actually the excuse me.
And I would be happier. Because if things go south, it would be able to be more helpful.
Makes sense.
Aloran,
Fair.
the first question on this is, or do you wish this to be a secondary concern? Something we know about them that they do not know about us. I know you have concerns on it, as do I. But part of me would rather play the trap spider than the actively nose into something that could be negative for us. And if we do ask about it, I would ask only about the military side.
Fine. You're not wrong. But at the same time,
The happiest solution? I know it leaves things unanswered. There just is not much of a good way to get those things answered.
fair enough.
Out of character wise, if you needed me to spy, keep in mind that I could just open up my my hidden cache, put like an armoire or chest of drawers that's into it, put the hidden cache away, and then use the mimic ability to become that item in someone's room and stealth and disguise check.
I think if you
eavesdropping is not a problem.
Yes, but getting caught would be an exceedingly big one. Problem, that is. Nigel's just playing the odds here. If he was to walk in to the militia commander and say, look, while things were as they were, we were fighting for our lives here. We were trying to figure out something about what was going on here. So yes, I searched your office. Yes, I found this list. I would like to know the purpose of this list and why we were added to it.
That Max would probably have to give back that gun.
There was discussion last session about making a similar one for the captain.
I left the old one I had in there, and it was a masterwork.
But it wasn't a +1.
Though based on that does seem a good reason for us to visit him. And given Tikisri's abilities, turning should be a relatively easy proposition. It would also be a sign of good faith.
Fair. Fair. I mean, if it were my opinion, I'd just burn the whole list to the ground. Another one. But not the most practical.
Seems we are going to attempt, to one extent or another, to make a life here. It seems not to be the best choice.
Didn't end well. And I can tell it didn't end well for you. So part of me here is going to respond with the obvious question of, how is it supposed to be?
Well, actually, I'm on quite probably third or fourth time. Survive. Next time you survive better. And if not, you don't worry about it.
Fair. Airplane. I pull out the bomb, a pistol, twirl it around a bit, and then hand it to you. Just tell him you found it while you were cleaning out a car or something, I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. I will remove.
Okay, now that's not what...
Question it for a second.
Fair.
Do you think he would be enraged? It seems that there would be little risk in the person that gave them the warning that allowed them to survive the incursion, borrowed a piece of equipment, and is now returning.
Very well. Either way, this whole thing's a mess.
Believe me, I am not going to put myself at unreasonable risk. In fact, I do not view this as risk at all.
I have a question. How much time was there between our arrival back and the start of this session?
Not enough to matter, probably.
Right, so like an hour or so. So it wasn't really. We literally just got back. We haven't really rested.
Pretty much, yeah. Unless
now that we are back in a normal plane, are we still attuned to the orb, or do we have to reattune?
You still are.
Cool, we're still good.
Still good.
I would actually like to point out that if either one of them wanted to hold up until I was done with the dagger I was making, I would actually go with. But that really depends on what their plan is. If they wait till tonight, I can be there. If not, no.
I thought we had basically decided to wait till tonight. Does that track?
Yeah, seems good.
Yeah.
Well then, in that case, unless there's any more deliberation you guys want to do, the rest of the day passes. I guess let me hear from the casters real quick, if Lizard Wizard or Soul want to do anything before we flash forward tonight.
Lizard Wizard would like to get a hold of the mayor.
Okay.
In private.
It's not hard for you to do so. She's, as she normally is this time of day, she's situated in her office. You walk up, there's a secretary sees you and doesn't say anything. you're able to kind of just walk right on, and the door is open. She looks up and just, oh, hi there.
Hey. Can we talk? And can I shut the door?
Of course, yes, please come in. And she gets up and pulls a chair like across from her desk, and then sits back down in her chair.
So I'm going to tell her this in very general terms. I'm not going to get specific unless like she prods it out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm basically going to tell her up the list, and that it was found, and that some of the people in my party are, and I don't mention who, but I said some of the people in my party are going to give you a heads up.
I'm not sure what list you're talking about.
The list with our names on it.
Oh, of course. And she stands up, moves over to her filing cabinet, opens it, and she pulls out the same list, sets it down, and this is a manifest of everyone who's come to Eddard's Dawn. Helps us keep track of people, you know?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to let you know that there's members of people that I was with that are like that because so like I tell her that, and like I didn't know if that was going to be something that would be sensitive information at all, and so I just thought I'd let you know.
Oh, no, not at all. It's just a simple census. Helps us keep track of people, helps us know who's come to our new colony. It's that simple.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. Anyway, is there anything you need from me?
No, she smiles.
Okay. All right, I'll see you later.
She nods, goes back to her work. Anything else you wanted to do?
Actually, I've got 500 gold. Is there a place at Enter's Dawn that sells trading cards? That sells the kind of cards that I use?
It's a good question that I hadn't thought of already. You want this to be a 1. Okay. Yes, there is.
Okay, so I would like to go there, and I'm basically going to look for like any triple triad cards that I don't own that really pique my interest, that look really beautiful or especially combat worthy or rare.
Sure.
Basically, the kind of things I'm looking for.
Okay, give me a perception check then.
Sure. In just a second. Skills. There you go.
Okay. So, the shop is pretty new. It's pretty small. There's a basic little like glass display case where cards sit, and there are some like middle of the road. Like, I guess to speak in Magic, there are a couple of like $15 rares that are there, but what catches your eye is kind of like set as the center display piece. There's a gold chocobo, not unlike your own, except this one was printed as part of a limited set run. The art is different. Rather than the one you have, this is like in the midst of it casting Choco Cure. The foiling is different. The radiant energy forms its own like a different kind of holographic pattern.
I go up to the shopkeeper and I say, I'm interested in that gold chocobo you have there. It's a different design than the one I have, and I like collecting such cards.
Ah, of course it is. It's a rare, one-of-a-kind print tournament several years back. Only 6 of them ever made in the whole world. This big, despite the little voice of this guy, this giant, arms as big as legs, Galka stands up and just 500 gil and it can be yours.
I'll tell you what. You might notice my attire.
Yes, you look like a damn superhero. Who the hell are you?
I am the Lizard Wizard. I am a black mage, and I also am a card shark. I use the triple triad cards in combat, and I do very heroic daring do and deeds. I'll tell you, make you a deal. How would you like me to be the mascot of your store, and in return, you give me a small discount on cards I buy from you, and I'll invest in your store. Since it's new and you'd like to grow your business, we can make a deal.
Diplomacy check.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, gambler, are you satisfied with a 12?
No, ask. I'm not. No, I'm not. We're going to lock that.
So many times I feel like I'm... Well, gambler, are you satisfied with a 14?
How many I got? I got 11.
You have 13 as
13.
Of level.
Yeah, we're gonna roll them. I'll hold on that one.
Keeping a 22. So at first this guy says, "You mean to tell me you want to buy all of my product and blow it up? What kind of damn fool would take all these fine products and just explode them? You might as well just set my whole store on fire." Or, second option, how is it you do what you do exactly? How is it you can take... And he picks up like a crappy bulk, just like a sad-looking Moogle on a card and throws it as hard as he can into the wall. Somehow it manages to hit and bend, as opposed to just being paper and it hits flat. How is it you're able to do this kind of thing you're doing without just breaking all the product? I don't quite understand it.
Sure, I'm going to do a demonstration, and I'll show him how to do it, and I'm looking to see a good thing that I can roll for this.
Well, you do get a sizable bonus on profession and perform card tricks.
Well, because it says plus half my level, but yeah, it's only my profession gambling's only like a 6 on the check.
Yeah, did not put any ranks in it. Other than that, you could make an attack roll, sleight of hand check. Your call.
I'll take the. I'm basically gonna try. I'm gonna basically try to hide that I'm throwing it, but I'm gonna throw it in such a way that I'm gonna try to hit the spot where he threw his card.
Okay.
So it's to show him the difference.
Works for me. So, you fire off this thing, and you draw from the top of the deck and you throw, and it ends up being a tomberry, and it sticks in the wall in such a way that its art, it's walking across the card, its knife, the card goes in up to the tip of the knife, sticks in the wall. The man is completely just, how in the hell did you do that? What? He pulls the card, looks at it. This is just, what? You're hired. Fine, so be it. 300 gold.
I give him the 500 gold, and I say, or I give him 4.
I said gold, damn! I meant gil! I'm breaking the fourth wall a little bit.
I give him 450 gil. I say, here's the 300 for the card. Here's an extra 150 to basically invest in your business. And here's to a wonderful partnership. And I want to shake his hand.
And he takes it. Just, "Ah, indeed, I'll tell all me customers that cards that come from the, what is the name of me shop? I haven't named it yet. It's a brand new shop and we'll come up with it later. Everybody who comes into... You want to name me damn shop?"
I say, do you have a camera? Do you have a way to take a picture?
It'll take like 5 minutes in this setting, I suppose, but yes.
And under it, you can say, I get all my cards from your shop.
Good enough for me, and I'll tell all me patrons that the cards they buy here, they're shielded, if it were. You throw it, it's like the scales of a dragon. No bending or breaking here, I fie on that.
Deal.
He smiles, nods. Takes your money, and you now have an alternate art gold chocobo card.
Thank you.
Now I see a entry into finagling my own business deal by putting a blanket enchantment on its cards to make them not break or bend for a year.
There you go. It's the bent card, home of the finest adamantine triple triad cards you ever seen. Slams down card Ben's table.
Yeah.
Okay, so that happened. It's all Golden Soul.
Actually, I think all I'd have to do is make it a +1 card.
Yeah.
Make it a masterwork.
Anything from the White Mage?
No, there is nothing that I am seeking to accomplish at this time. I'm good for now.
Alright, so I'm going to take a deep breath to get out of my angry Irish voice.
And slip into your angry Scottish voice.
It's not much of a fucking difference, but... Except it's hard to understand me. Don't even get me into my angry Welsh voice. It's not even language, it's just a bunch of Y's all over the place. I'm sorry if we have anybody from Wales watching. Your language is hard. Okay. Night happens.
Angry Gaelic would be very terrifying.
Angry Gaelic.
I was just thinking, with all the Y's, you probably were thinking Welsh, but...
Yeah, exactly. So, night
I'm
comes...
just an amateur linguist.
Oh, got you. So it comes to the evening, whatever Takisri is working on is completed, and everybody just kind of goes where everybody knows your name and has unerring accuracy baseball batting food at you.
Okay. Walking into the flapjacks, the dagger goes flying across the room, sticks into the table right in front of Nigel. And a deadly sheen, or rather shine, glimmers down the blade. It's done.
Yes. Thank you.
Why is everybody around?
Well, for me, it's because it's a weapon.
This is
I don't
end
know about
horribly when
flapjack.
somebody throws a loaded gun.
I've done that too. It's rather fun.
And while I enjoy firearms, this is much, much more personal.
And I'd walk over and repair the table.
Fair enough. Okay. So the party convenes at Flapjacks. Everybody shows up, including, of course, the captain of the militia and the mayor.
I was even able to do a little upgrading on myself. And she rubs one of her forearms where it's actually slick with a fresh coating of machine oil. And you can see there's new rivets.
Seems good. Well,
The upgrades you were speaking of?
Yes, I should not have to abide by other people's physical strength. Oh, and the problem I was having with my blending and shadow abilities has, well, it's become a non-issue. It's now an on-off toggle.
Hmm.
So, what are we doing tonight?
Well, I believe Lauren and I were going to speak with the militia commander.
Oh, marvelous.
Okay. You are certainly
Document.
Did the document have my name that I have, or did it have my given name?
the name you use.
Okay. That would actually greatly impact the way this goes down, because if it had my biological name, the name of my actual, there would be dead people involved.
Indeed.
So, yes. All right.
Lauren, do you, if you're ready, let's go have a chat.
Okay. So you two head over. The captain of the militia sits.
3.
Right. The captain of the militia sits idly, like in a table by himself, and he looks up, sees the pair of you. Yes?
Commander. Oh, first, wanted to return this to you. And I put the bomba pistol on the table in front of him.
Ah, wonderful. He takes it back, holsters it.
While the latest incident occurred, I had cause to search your office seeking for why we could not find any of you. We ran across a document that was somewhat disturbing. Would you care to discuss it here, or would you like to go somewhere more private?
Here will be fine. It's loud enough. There's definitely a lot of like really loud conversations going on well past you.
I'll motion to a chair. May I, or may we?
He nods.
Sit down.
I would just lift my feet up off the floor and hover. Like literally cross-legged in the air.
Okay.
I sit down because I'm not that fancy.
And whilst doing so, shoot a couple of strands of web up and actually literally just make myself a spider's web to sit in.
Okay, fair enough.
Eyebrows go up.
Flapjack, you got a spider.
Spider repellent!
Spider.
And he grabs a spider repellent and boop, lands it over.
Oh, good. I could use that. And I'd tuck it into my bag.
You now have one spider repellent. And I didn't mean to do
Never know
that.
when it'll come in.
That's fair, yeah.
Why
It's
does
poison,
this remind?
okay?
Why does this remind me of a certain superhero show where the superhero just happened to have a can of shark repellent?
Look, if we ever
Yeah.
come across Aragoth or whatever the Harry Potter spider was, I can't remember its name.
Aragog?
Yeah,
Aragog.
that's it. If we ever come across an Aragog,
Then you will be prepared. The captain just kind of looks over and...
Yeah.
Well?
Lauren,
Huh?
go ahead.
it basically comes down to we want to know why we, as a party, have been put into your list with our capabilities. Documenting people is kind of reminiscent of bad things in our past.
I certainly can understand that. Well, I'll be straight with you. The long and short of it is, we like to know who can do what here. Should we need to call on someone for help, we'd like to make sure we get the best ones. Which, clearly, and he looks around, is you.
But you could understand where we might become concerned about what information is kept on us.
Of course. Let me assure you, the list has no nefarious, ulterior motives of any sort. Just want to know who does what.
That being said, how is the troop transport working out for you?
Well, didn't think we'd get a flying truck out of anyone, but it's definitely a thing of wonder.
Remember, it also burrows, swims its own.
And now we have an all-terrain transport. I appreciate it.
Literally all-terrain.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you have anything else you would like to automate, or say the cannons, I could actually make those autonomous as well. So, you know where my shop is.
Of course.
If you'd like to make a deal.
I will bear that in mind. Now, did you have any other questions from me?
I believe that answered my questions. I
have a request.
Well, name it.
I will do work for you if it is required, for a price, of course. However, I will give you a hefty discount if you would be so kind as to remove any data that could be used in a tactical manner against us and show us the finalized document. Whilst I am 100% confident that nothing that you would write down on me would have that much of an impact, it is still disconcerting. If you could just keep to yourself and not on paper this particular group's capabilities, it would be much appreciated.
He mulls it over a little bit.
I would give you up to a 25% discount on any work I do for you.
I certainly could use more automated vehicles. He nods. I think we can make that happen.
Does this alleviate any of your issues, Lauren?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
If anyone were to come across a list of our capabilities and use it for tactical reasons against us, be assured they would be dead. So keep that in mind. Not particularly you, just make sure no one you don't want dead gets a hold of the information.
He nods. So we're good then?
I'm glad to have this chat. And I'd use my laser to cut down my the webbing and store it away.
Okay. And with that, he goes back to his meal. What's the next move, kids?
Well, it seems like we have an answer. Go back.
I'd return over to the table, pull out my hidden cash as a toolbox, set it on the table. Well, between the two of you, pick which one you want to have work done next and hand me whatever item it is.
Hands you armor.
Alright, I'd start working on Mac's armor then. Buff still has his armor to go, and I still have, I believe, 2 items for
Parallax.
Parallax when he returns. So I have at least 4 more items to make.
Okay. So then we can, if you guys want to talk to anybody else, do anything else, we can, like, time skip those items done. Or, like, if you two wanted to talk to the mayor, do any kind of snooping, things of that nature.
What's the maximum enchantment rank you can get it to?
I can make a plus 10 weapon right now if we have enough money. Literally, money is the limitation.
Welcome
How
to
much would it be
3.5.
for a +5?
I will talk to you about that in private, not in voice chat.
Got it. But maybe people want to have a shopping episode, huh?
Shopping episode!
Shopping episode, yes, but mechanic episode, probably not.
Well,
Because
I want my +6 to charisma, okay?
Don't we
Okay.
all?
Because it's a cheap materia now. Actually, I think, yeah, it's a mastered materia. I'm just gaining MXP now for it to plop out another one that I could use for, I don't know, con.
Seems good for the guy who can't heal himself.
Mm.
Or rather, can't
Yeah.
be healed. You can heal yourself just fine.
Speaking of mechanics, Lauren did come up with something cool he was going to show to Kissery and Nigel. I meant and be like, okay, so I was messing around a little bit with my dark side a couple of days ago. You know, how I go all evil and whatnot. And I was tempting some things. I noticed that when I'm in dark side, my blood is a little different. It's a little bit more infused with shadow energy and all that sort of stuff, negative power, stuff like that. Stuff that a soul would probably burn away super easily. But I came up with something really useful. So, you guys know how some things are just good at resisting damage, right? Like, you know, adamantine armor and stuff like that.
Yes.
Alright, here. I found out that while I'm in dark side, if I coat my sword in a layer of my blood, just prick my hand enough to bleed and then like trace it along the length of the blade, the blood kind of is absorbed by the metal or goes into the metal. I'm not exactly certain the art, alchemy, or whatever behind this. And it does something to the sword. While I'm in dark side, it does some more shadow damage, but here's the crazy thing. It goes through stuff like adamantine, like butter. It doesn't even care. Mechanically speaking, the new abyssal arts I learned, carve and spit, while I'm in dark side, I can make my sword do 2d6 extra shadow damage and ignore all resistance.
Busted meta is busted.
Okay,
Love it.
so you would know that would be damage, the damage reduction, not the adamantine. Adamantine is hardness. It functions pretty much the same, but hardness is completely different.
Mm. You've had a lot of things with DR over adamantine, though, so it's not the worst.
I just thought it'd be useful for like fighting the robots or stuff like that if we have to fight them again.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, her response to that is very interesting. Would you be willing to donate me an ounce or two of that so I could look at it?
That's what I was going to actually ask. Because I'm going to be 100% completely honest with you. I don't know
Yeah.
what they put in me to turn me into this. I've heard mentioning of an entity called Jehovah.
About entities with strange sound. Talk to the cleric, not the creator.
Well, the reason why I bring it up is because, as far as I'm aware of, I've never actually met the more mysterious entity. More so, I don't know, blood samples from it and develop something from that. Basically, I occasionally have these weird dreams and things in them that sometimes relate to the entity, I think. And Darkseid seems to draw them up. It's weird. I don't know what it's. I want you to help me reverse engineer what they created me in, or what they turned me into. I want to learn about the process that turned me into a Dark Knight, effectively, or at least my Empire's version of a Dark Knight. So that way, at the very least, if if I'm afraid of the worst occurring, we'll have a better understanding of how to kill other Dark Knights.
Understandable and very reasonable. Knowledge is, after all, the heart of all power.
There. And I would be more than happy to give you some blood while I'm in Darkseid. It it kind of literally at some points feels like it's boiling out of me. It's not a fun
Oh,
experience.
well, spontaneous generation of additional fluids. Rather interesting.
I don't know entirely. It just feels. I'm not gonna lie to you, Takisari. At times, I'm curious what would happen if you actually were to take an autopsy on me. If I would still be
No, 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 no,
completely
no, no,
normal
no,
on
no.
the inside.
It is a biopsy when you are alive. It is an autopsy when you are dead.
Eh, fair enough. Although at this point, I imagine Soul would be able to fix that too. He's a very dependable guy. He is probably one of the best people I've met in my entire life.
Well, rather interesting. Or even a vivisection. I don't believe even I am willing to do that.
That is completely fair. I want to try and figure out what the hell I am. So that way maybe we can get some answers. But then there's also there's also another thing that I kind of want your help with. And I guess I'm gonna be honest here with me. I'm going to share some secrets with you. You think maybe you can share some secrets with me back?
Just ask what you want to know. I don't have too many secrets.
What's
We
up
have
with this
actually went through.
Materia corporation that you were talking about? Are they hunting you? What's the deal there?
Well, what exactly the deal is, I don't know too much. What I do know is that whilst I was in my previous home, just going about my existence and making things of no concern, with no one to actually make things for, they confronted me with a being that I have the utmost respect for, a Tonberry, and I tried to use him to manipulate me. They also showed up at my home unannounced with my biological name, which, oddly enough, is Lauren, but they should not have known that name, as that person died 30 years ago when I became Takisri. The fact that they know that name and the history behind it and the people that it was connected to and were trying to manipulate me into doing their dirty work. or rather their work. I don't know if it was dirty or not. I do know they wanted on this island so they could exploit its resources.
Well, why can't they just come on the island themselves?
Well, they said that they had sent a ship here before, the one that is probably the one we were in before with the ghosts, and that it crashed mysteriously, and all other transports that they have sent here have done similar. So either there's something that prevents airships that do not have proper clearance of being here, stops them from arriving intact, or there is some other weird going ons here that is preventing them from arriving. But that being said, they wanted me to try to get them away here so that they could take over the place. And because they had too much information on me, I have decided that I am going to build my resources and I am going to go kill them. Each and every one of them, all of their employees, and anyone who might possibly think of coming after me with any kind of knowledge of me afterwards. So, the bookkeeper that might happen to know my name shall die, and a long list of other people.
Not
No, you did not come to me knowing my information, and I just freely gave it to you. Because of our previous life and death situations, you have earned it. They have not.
So we are in the friend category now.
I called you friend, during the encounters, did I not?
Fair. Just never hurts to establish that. What with some of the stuff that all of us are having to deal with.
Until the people that were in the battle with us do something to or against me, they are friends, as you are. When they betray me, they shall be dead. So, survive it.
Alright. I'll go next then. So, as you guys know, from where I came from, I'm not exactly a well-received individual anymore. I don't know if you two have ever heard of the First Sane Empire. It's, well, actually the First Sane Republic, but it's more so an empire. It was a colony, originally a prisoner's colony, from another empire on the Netherlands or whatnot that eventually gained its independence and became a powerful political state and all that sort of stuff in its own right. I grew up in that state, and for the most part, everything in that nation is inherently tied to the military. Even our so-called king is not even the default, 100% ruler. The king is only one of, last I checked there were 5 on the council, but there was talks of perhaps a 6th being added due to, well, the Jehovah Project becoming so powerful. Essentially, in my kingdom, or where I come from, everything is military related. However, at the same time, unlike a lot of other places that I've been to, it is more democratic. The only problem is, in order to actually become a full-fledged citizen and vote, you need to serve in the military. Or pay an exorbitant fine, but that was the more frowned upon cheapo, oh, look at this failed nobleman's son, he could not even stand to do military training. Nobody with an actual reputation to uphold does that method. So, of course, being 18 years old, I went into the army, and that's when they discovered my innate magical talents. And I discovered that I had an affinity for magic and became a red mage, and I was trained. And my first few initial encounters were fair. It was mostly monsters, raiders, banditry, the standard backcountry issues that the average soldier or guard party would be called upon. But then, somehow, I caught the eye of a particularly interesting individual, a Dr. Salton. He was a scientist in the army, part of their weapons and development research or something or another group. And he created the Jehovah experiment, and being a patriotic boy, I was like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. This will get me a promotion. It will make me an officer, more money. I'll be helping my nation now. It will make my family proud of me. All that sort of good, happy, honest stuff. Out of 10,000 soldiers that were brought into the initial trial, only 100 of us lived. I was one of those 100. And I've never been able to find out the exact correlation between why I lived and others don't. I don't even remember the fullness of the treatment. It's phasey. It's foggy. I can't remember it. All I know is that it was agonizing. But once I was done, I came out far, far more powerful than even the doctor was expecting. And with that, the Hussein had its first company of Dark Knight. And not too long after we were created, yet another war started up, and I was sent to the front line with great effect. To great an effect. I snapped at one point, actually. I don't want to fully talk about the event that caused me to realize the true evils my nation were attending. But it was not good, and I snapped, and they had to subdue me. And for a while, when I returned back to consciousness, they actually had convinced me that I was knocked out by a artillery strike, and that the war was won. It was over. Everything was peaceful. And I actually then was recruited once again by the Jehovah Project to be an instructor to a second fleet of soldiers. The survivability rate was more so akin to something like 25%. So hey, good for them. But I started to remember my times in the war. And eventually, there was a kid. I was in a convoy with a bunch of soldiers, and we were on the way there. There was a kid, my little brother, and they hit him, and they laughed about it, and that broke me. And it broke me a second time when I found him working custodian shop when I was looking for my girlfriend. That whole thing about me not being good with love, yeah. See, I was close to this girl for quite some time, only to find out she was part of the whole Genova experiment all along, and that she was there to keep eyes on me. My family? They at least gave me the good graces to miss me with the first shot. And because I couldn't stand to kill kids that didn't belong to our empire. And calling myself a monster. Yeah, it was something like that prevented me from doing this. Here. What about y'all? What about you, Nigel?
Before you go into that, You are not a monster. You are a pragmatist. I, on the other hand, am a monster. Because, personally, I might have been one of the ones to pick up the remains and reconstruct it. So, I understand what they were going for. Probably not the means by which they went about it. But, that being said, if you go against them, I will help you kill them all. So, Nigel,
Well, my first question, and I dig into the bag of holding that's a belt pouch. Sorry, handy haversack, technically. And I pull out the patches I took off of the steak I killed on the way to get onto the airship that brought us here. Toss that insignia over to Aloran and ask, does that insignia mean anything to you?
It does not. You certainly recognize the nature of it, I will say, but you've never seen it before.
Because the survivors of certain incidents among my people where I was raised, eventually I ended up in Oasis, acting as a tour guide to rich dilettantes who decided, oh, we want to go see the splinters of departed civilizations. And they needed someone to make sure they did not die terribly. It was living but not a life. Well, to say it is, we were contacted, seemed we had a powerful sponsor who provided weapons and other support so we could take vengeance on those who had fought against us, who had committed. They wiped out my clan for all intents and purposes. Then they brought the scattered remnants together, armed us, and allowed us to seek our revenge, which we did quite well, and then they started dropping artillery and troops on top of us. Capturing Oasis as I fled, after finding the dead bodies of my brother, my sister, others I knew. Part of the reason my Jeep was hidden in the cargo hold for several days. It just... If this is the same corporation that you speak of, you too will have my support. And fair is fair. I have heard of you, you now know of me.
So I'll kick it out there really quickly that unless they want to be somewhere else, Soul and the Lizard Wizard hear all of this as well.
That's fine.
And really quickly, with a 34 on a sense motive check from Soul, it seems like the militia captain wasn't leaving anything out. There's some, there are some discrepancies, like, where did everyone go? Those kinds of things. But so far as the list goes, yeah, sounds like he'll redact the party's names, basically. And they are definitely just using it as a census that they didn't tell anyone about. Anyway, end roleplay interruption. We return you now to your Final Fantasy Heralds at Dawn. Anyone else got anything?
No, Nigel will look down and step to are we back at the shop, or are we still in Flapjacks?
Still at Flapjacks, unless you want to change your venue, basically.
I would not talk about my backstory in Flapjacks.
Okay, then we have all gone to the shop. Yeah!
Yeah. That being said, I will find some room in the back room and start running through combination strikes with the new dagger to get a good feel for it.
Okay, fair enough.
And it also allows me to work off a little bit of the negative energy talking about my past brought up.
Makes sense. So then in that case, the only person around to hear you at this point would be Jareth. He just kind of flicks his tail around.
There is one more thing I want to bring up with you two, or you guys in particular, that I think would be advantageous to all of us if we can get our hands on it. And it would also help me in my quest to stop my home country from becoming another large-scale tyrannical empire. Seems like we have a few to deal with. Before I came to this island, I ran into another like myself. He was there with a strange individual. The first phrase that comes to my mind is a werewolf. And they mentioned something about his people knowing the location of an extremely powerful and extremely ancient weapon. And apparently, both the Resistance and the Empire are looking to get their hands on it. And I'm not entirely certain where it is. But with you two being such great engineers and whatnot, and spies and us having just a larger group, it would be advantageous for us to look for this as well. I mean, at the end of the day, the people you pass on the street, well, patriotic, yes, are normally fine people. Hell, even most of the soldiers in the army are there because they think it's what the average person in the Empire is. Just the people that are in control are leading them down the wrong path, and I want to stop that, you know? But either way, if we can find this weapon, not only will it help me, but we can use it to then help all of us in our little endeavors to get back at these people that have wronged us, or to save our loved ones, or whatever we need to do. By no means the end-all be-all. I'm not certain what it's called or where it's from, or even how to find it. All I know is that if I can find Varg's people, then that will be a start for us to finding this weapon. And since I was not told where the people were, but I do know that my ticket I used to get here was in the motorbike. I'm fairly certain there's somewhere on this island, or at the very least, something of what I'm looking for is on this island.
That being said, how there's part of me which does not wish to have the means of mass destruction necessarily at my fingertips. Some of us understand our true potential for, well, revenge. I just don't. While I have concerns about it, if this nation of yours is seeking this power and would use it in that way, it makes them no different than the corporation that Tiki dealt with or those forces who set up my people. The question is, after we find this weapon, do we keep it ourselves? Where do we end?
I'm afraid if we don't, I understand the fact that we ourselves are not by any means infallible people, but at the end of the day, I trust the weapons more in the hand of you and Takisuri than I would in this doctor fellow. If Saltin's even his real name. It's more so, it's not just, I want this weapon because I could destroy my enemies with it. It's more so, I'm afraid what would happen if my enemies got their hands on it. And if this weapon is up here on this island in Takisuri, that's another thing this company could be looking for. Either way, things seems to have us coming back to this island.
Well, if it is up here, it just means it's bait to get them up here so I can destroy them.
I look over at Nigel. You know, I think she seems like the one most likely to actively go out of her way to destroy an entire nation to get back at them.
I'm not after a nation. The civilians have done nothing to me. Here's the thing. You can group people by their organization. They chose to be there. You can't group them by their town or city, because they may have been born there and just did not have the means to leave. If they're in a company, they chose that company to join. If they're in the army, they may have been drafted. If they are in a SWAT team, they had to be asked. Unless they, of course, are slaves, in which case you're still probably giving them a better existence by ending it. But no, I would not harm children.
Slavery is something that's heavily frowned upon in my home country, thankfully. At least I don't have to worry about that. Oh well. But as you're...
I think you give me too much credit. But that being said, it does seem is under our control as opposed to someone else's. But I've lived in the desert long enough to think future planning what to do now. One does not count on rain in the dry season, which is all the time.
Fair enough.
You know what? I am going to do a charisma to check to see if I made a good joke.
Okay, fair enough. Let it rip.
Hi.
Beyblade.
You know, it's bad whenever I have to dig down to get a charisma roll.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. Your Jeep probably would have done a little better, but yours is passing.
The Jeep would have done at least one better.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the joke wasn't bad, though.
It was at least recognizable as one.
Yeah.
Mm.
You'll get a chuckle from me.
Look. You and I are two sides of the same coin. You and your skills on the battlefield are obvious. You stand in the middle of the line and deal death to any who approach. Not to put too blunt a point on it, so that is one thing we need to understand about each other.
And with no further ado, a dragon shows up!
Look who figured out how to use the shower. So
to really quickly bring a player up to speed, we waited until night when everybody came to Flapjacks to talk to people, and Captain of the Guard has agreed to redact the party's name from the list in return for services from Takisri. What else happened? As far as the Lizard Wizard can tell, the mayor is just like, this is just a census. That's all it is. There was a sense motive thrown that seems that there are kind of some holes missing, but everything they said seems fine. And then we've gone to everybody sharing their horrible, terrible backstories with one another.
Nigel, Takisari, and Alorn have been chit-chatting backstories and whatnot.
That too.
Marvelous.
I mean, you're more than fair to be there. I mean, I don't think... This was kind of assumed that we were just chilling out in Takisari's shop.
Yep, that's where the party is right now. As far as funds from the whole spaceship debacle, you guys had salvaged one room for 8,000 gil. How Nigel splits it is up to Nigel.
Well, I wasn't sure if we had already decided on that. All I know is that I'm down to the 500 gil of minimum and have provided the rest of it, strangely, to Takisri for new fun toys.
Yeah.
The 8,000 had already been spent during last session, and the 16 had been split. The 16,000 that I salvaged.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This is for in here. Okay.
Let's mute that man. What were you saying?
Whiffle.
I muted him. You're good. 16,000 was.
The 16,000 was split evenly across the party, and let's see, Lizard Wizard actually paid me all but 500 of his. And Wiffle has actually also already spent his because he has, he is commissioning something because we talked about it over the break.
Right.
So
Okay,
I don't.
just making sure. Thank
Yeah.
you. Sorry to bother you.
Classic Ross answer.
So this is what my mic sounds like on the opposite end right now. But yeah, so... Well, anyone else want to share? Seems like we're all just throwing out stories here. Depressing as they may be. Lizard, how'd you get your nickname? Well, actually, your nickname's very self-explanatory. Any horrible, hideous backstory for you that we're going to have to inevitably deal with in the future? As a group, I hope. Because at this point, it seems as though this is the most coherent group of friends I've had in, 5 years, I think.
Well, outside of me rescuing the rest of my circus troupe from the wrath of the judges.
Ah, God,
Not
Matt,
really.
I'm right next to you. No need to yell.
I mean, do you want to go beat up some judges and rescue a bunch of circus people?
Okay. First off, who are these judges?
Judges, they wear thick armor and have guns, and they like to pass a lot of really restrictive laws.
Okay, 2 out of the 3 applies to me here, buddy.
And as a point of order, they haven't worn that really iconic and judgy armor. I want to say Hell Knight plate again, but that's not what it is in probably about 1,000 years. Now you're more expecting a little pin that will have a judgy symbol on it that will be like abrasives of armor, that kind of thing.
They wear clothes and make very stringent laws. That's what they do.
They like clothes and laws. 2 things.
2 things only, clothes and laws.
Wake up in the morning, put your pads on, sign ye some Senate bills.
And then,
I digress.
then who knows what else they do the rest of the day.
Actually passing laws, now we know it's a fantasy setting.
Right?
I know.
I'm tempted to call... Oh my... I'm tempted to call sense motive checks, because there's definitely, a lot of detail has been passed out by a lot of people. No, we don't need to call sense motive checks. You guys can all tell that the Lizard Wizard is not telling, the entire story of what happened. Rescued people from judges, and please help me.
Friend, that's all we need to know.
Lizard, if you wish to go and retrieve your people, all you need to do is say so.
Well, let's go.
Now,
I don't think we can leave the island that easily, but I kind of agree with the sentiment. If somebody's in direct danger right now, we should totally go.
As long as the island is not outside of the normal realm, the scrolls that I made previously will get us there.
You know,
I just have to make another.
that would actually explain a lot. The scrolls being outside the normal realm. Or the silence being outside the normal realm. That would explain a lot of the weird stuff we've seen going on here so far. Because think about it. How many of us have actually heard of the others, home country or anything like that?
As a point of order, none of you have heard of anybody else's.
Language, but yeah, it feels almost like we're all from different worlds.
That being possible, I do know in my world there is Albed that come from the desert. Now, whether it's the same desert, I do not know.
That's like the only correlation we've had so far, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes,
Well,
but
if-
there are human settlements and other that must be further than I've traveled.
Perhaps would any of us have a knowledge of geography that would know the names of these places and where they are?
We had oh, I see. There goes mighty spellcraft throwing several dices all over the places. Okay. So I'll wait for all the dice to resolve before I start throwing things up. I see
Give me
many
a sec.
numbers.
Oh, what? No. Okay, never mind.
There's like a nat 20 on the planes and a nat 1 on the history.
Well,
Oh, you need a knowledge planes too? Yeah, sure. I'll throw it out there. Yay!
Nice. Well said, someone. I don't know what that was.
Sounded like a laughing.
Your game officially now has a laugh track.
Good.
I
Okay.
feel like
Is everyone done throwing knowledge checks at the board?
actually, yeah, because I shouldn't have even rolled that. Skillful moments means I take 20s.
I feel like that's
But,
the first time Tiki's ever gone lower than a
There it
10
is.
on an intelligence-based roll
Oh, there it
in
is.
any game I've ever played with him.
That's very
Actually,
possible.
Actually, I can't roll the knowledge planes anyway because I'm not
you're not trained.
skilled in it.
Mm.
But yeah, a straight intelligence check rather for me would be 20 plus 6, so 26.
26. Okay. So I'm imagining halfway through this, Nog is going to speak of the devil.
No!
I'm so sorry, guys. My life has been real hectic with my aunt and
No, dude,
a bunch of stuff. and I
You are-
totally forgot.
you are totally
Dude,
fine.
Totally.
never apologize for IRL problems coming in the way
So
of games.
basically, you get 20 minutes of role play just by yourself, so you can catch up.
So I guess really quickly before we walk it all back really hard.
Yep.
Really quickly, let me get. So there are lots of knowledge checks being thrown around. So as soon as you get into Roll20, if you could,
Yeah, I'm getting in there right now.
people are starting to realize that no one's heard of where anybody's come from, and you now know a lot more about Takisri, Nigel, and Lauren. Everybody else is keeping their cards close to their
We
chest.
also know more about Lizard Wizard and judges.
A little bit about.
Alicia's not exactly holding her cards close to his chest. It's more like she doesn't even have a hand at this point. So.
Yeah,
Oh, shoot,
that's fair.
I forgot. Wait, when you say judges, do you mean the guys with the poofy wigs?
Not
But,
exactly.
Wait,
Don't,
Doyle-
don't judges where you come from wear poofy wigs. It's like a requirement where I come from. The powdered wig.
Yeah.
It's like a
This-
symbol of class.
Yeah.
Well,
but-
But,
There-
go ahead.
Like even the women wear them.
When it boils down to it, you come across, let's see, Tiki is extremely pragmatist, has started to accept y'all as her group, kind of like a cat does to people. This is my human, so these are my people. And
Yeah.
has decided that mass genocide of anybody that comes from the Materia Corp company is valid.
Nog, what are you doing? There's a tornado at Nog's house. Oh, jeez.
Freaky chair.
Sorry, I was trying to fix my headphones because I was only hearing you out of one side.
No, fair enough.
Microphone.
Well, yes. So you have discovered that Takisri is planning a genocide of anyone who works for Materia Corp.
Material.
Yes.
So
which is
what did
the-
I find out? What did I find out while I was gone? Was I there or was I not there?
You are there.
Just kind of chilling in Takisri's shop where you had
Alright.
been passed out because
Yeah.
of
Okay.
GM.
Because
fuckery.
hasn't been here, and Alicia wakes up, and Parallax flies in, and if Alicia is in, as soon as Alicia's ready for knowledge checks, I can start putting the pieces together. Knowledge, whatever you want to throw at the
Knowledge checks you
board.
need.
Whatever you got. I've seen geography, planes, I've seen
I have
history.
a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna throw out Arcana. I'm gonna throw out. I'm also probably gonna raw and diffuse stuff. So.
Deal.
Well,
Okay, cool.
Can I calm my pants down? No.
You
Oh,
should
yeah, that
also
would
add
help.
2,285 to your sheet.
In Gil, of course.
In Gil. All right. I thought he was like, wait, we got that much experience?
No, we leveled to level 8.
Yeah,
so.
I know about that. I'm talking about after that. Like,
No, we're not. We're done. Unless you've got materia on you, you don't worry about XP numbers.
Exactly.
All right, good to know.
Alright, so...
Yeah, I'm going to throw out stuff. You guys keep going while I'm pulling stuff up, because like I said, it caught with my pants down here. So.
Yeah, no, you're totally good, dude.
And my
Lauren
computer's
has
slow.
just suddenly become far more attractive as he fluffs his hair back.
Alright, well, anyway, when people
Because
start
the
actually...
Charisma's +6 is nice.
When people start spieling out this thing, I pull out a large sheet of parchment and pen and start, or not parchment, paper and a pen, and start sketching out to the best of knowledge the areas that I know.
Okay, makes sense.
Oh yeah, where did you get the +6 charisma from on a character?
From the item crafter! So,
Nice.
I guess I'll go ahead and run with what we got now.
Yeah, I'm doing some stuff right now, so it's 16.
Dope. So, everybody knows, like, it's kind of a widely understood thing that the world is a very big place. You guys know of the things you know of, and you've, like, just because there wasn't a Hume in your intro doesn't mean a Hume doesn't exist, so on and so forth. But no one has...
That's a nobility for the second one?
Bless, do not do an interrupt. That is poo-poo
Sorry.
on you. So, the world has never been mapped out fully. There are several places that are unexplored. There are several places that are considered frontier wilderness to wasteland and everything back again. That said, like, everyone is talking about some pretty big stuff that you'd think at some point you probably would have heard of. You don't have an empire of whatever Aloran is. You don't have a bunch of mega corporations without, like, something tipping somewhere. So far as the planes checks go, it's, like, it tracks. Certainly this place is now much different than when it was when you returned. You could have shipped off to a demi-plane or a different plane or something, and then, like, somehow all of you got on the same ship and then got here. That is outlandish, but at least somewhat sensible. Here is my roll blast. What else we got? History doesn't really give you a whole heck of a lot of much. There are definitely a lot of questions that still need answered, is what you guys can put together. You can clearly establish that there are a lot of holes. A lot of things are missing.
I just got cut off for me, dude.
Okay. Also, I'd like to remind you that I was actually in the inner workings of that ship. Would I have seen anything that would have allowed it to cross realms?
Not really. But a lot of it was a little foreign to you. So, like, it's possible.
So Alicia wakes up. What did I miss? What's
Actually,
going
on that note, Alicia woke up a while ago, and we'll say a thing has to happen that's important. While everybody else is in Terragify and stuff like that, Alicia wakes up and she spends a little bit of time walking around this town, and she's outside of Tikisri's shop for all of 5 minutes before, out of nowhere, turning the corner is this old Numu woman. Her ears are hanging low, wobbling to and fro. She carries in her mage hand, pointing at it, a crystal ball that's floating in front of her, and she turns the corner and suddenly sees you and, Oh, my dear, you need to eat. I've never seen someone as pale as you. Oh, when did you get here?
I don't quite remember. I have a hole in my mind, you could say. I know I got here on some type of ship, but that's all I really remember. And you are?
Oh, my name's not important. She floats this crystal ball looking thing towards you, and the only...
I remember...
Go ahead, little one.
I remember my name was Alicia, and that's one of the few things I do remember. The ball?
The ball, the sphere, it's the only way one can communicate with those off the island. So many storms, you understand. Ships very rarely come in and out. If you'd be willing to attune to it, you look like you understand magic, my dear. It allows for a form of long-distance communication.
I just got cut off.
Like, as if it were like a message spell, but much farther. And she, like, pushes it into you. Attune to the sphere?
Yeah, at least touches it and it tunes to it. It's probably, does it anything that feel strange? Does it anything feel off?
Not really. Not any more, like, off than what she's describing.
Makes sense. Yeah, so she tunes. I thank you, but I don't think there's anyone outside that I remember. Maybe I can try and contact them.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And she pulls...
No, it's probably for the better. You see, when I got here, I'm not sure if you were aware, there's things, creatures. I think I'm connected to them somehow.
Oh, yes, the anus in the sky. Oh, terrifying times indeed. And she takes her crystal ball back and goes waddling away, turns the corner.
Yeah.
And time skip back to the present. You guys are back into Kissery's shop.
Yeah. So, I'd like to know a bit more about you. If we're going to be together, you seem to be the only people that are left around here, other than the things. Are you guys talking? Because can't hear it if you are.
No, most of us have been quiet. Also, to bring you up to date, the town is back.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. So the people are back?
Yes.
Okay. And, alright, so.
I mean, technically, they never left. We were the ones that left.
Ah, cool. That makes sense.
Picky.
Yeah, so you got us back. Like, I saw people out there. How did we get back? I remember it was empty before.
The Kissery blew the core.
Well, when we destroyed the opening, the sky anus, it kind of brought us back into phase with this reality.
Ah, I see.
Also, Adam!
He comes,
Yes?
walking in. Yes?
When's the last time you took a break?
He looks at, like, he slaps his wrist once, and a watch kind of, like, spins up out of it. Since right before I started.
Start scheduling yourself at least 8 hours off a day, please.
He nods.
That means now. Go home.
Nods again.
Oh, wait a minute. You are home.
I was confused.
Figure out something that you want to do and do it. If that includes work, go ahead. I don't care. But I don't wish to be a bad employer. Also, here, money. She hands him 1,000 gil. Pay.
Thank you. Pay, indeed. I will retire to my quarters. And so he does.
You can probably all very much tell that she only hired him, 4 days ago? 3 days ago?
Something like.
Yeah, so she has no concept of what his work is actually worth.
You never know. He may be bringing in that much business.
True. I haven't actually checked the coffer.
You know,
You could potentially build.
that is a thing we should talk about, isn't it? Okay, yeah. You pay him 1,000. The shop has made... you're basically the only business in town. I'll say over the course of a few days, it's made like 1,200 gil.
You broke up. What did you say?
1,200.
Cool. I'm leaving it there.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, out of character, really quick. Is the hole in the sky closed?
Yes, very closed.
Good to know. All right, good to know. Well, this is a very nice shop you have here. I'll give you that. He seems to do a good job, that one you hired.
Check your pockets. I paid you while you were asleep.
She checks and notices. Oh, well, thank you.
If you
one
get a hold
thing-
of the mayor tomorrow, she can find you a domicile. I believe what she told us is any house that has the key in the mailbox is open. You just have to pay her.
Very well.
One thing I did want to check out when we got back to town, that giant statue of Eddard in the chair, is it still in the center of town?
Yes, it is still
Yes, but
there.
the eye is no longer a thing.
No damage
Okay.
applied. The hyperbolic time chamber has reset.
Okay.
Yep.
Something I don't remember DBZ lore.
Magic works in mysterious ways.
Yes, it no
Indeed.
longer works, much to Nigel and to Kisri's sadness.
Yes, we must actually hold a what do you call it, a wake for it. However, cat person, you never did actually fully tell me your name. I'm sorry, but I don't know if the monetary units are the same where you come from. Those are gil, so you know.
Yes,
If
I
anyone
introduced
asks you
myself
for an
before, but I apologize if you didn't catch it. I am Alicia. That's one thing I remember.
I apologize. Well, actually, I don't apologize. I haven't actually seen very much that I needed to remember your name for, though you seem to be making yourself part of the group, so I should probably remember it.
No, it's fine. I was asleep for a while. I'm still recovering from that battle. So it seems.
Well, for future knowledge, about the cheapest place you will be able to get item upgrades and scrolls is with me. I sell and make them. I don't believe you'll have any issues with me not being able to produce whatever it is that you desire. So, yes.
Thank you for your kindness. It's quite appreciated.
Well, you were in combat with us. I guess that kind of makes you one of the group.
Well, I'll be sure to return the favor. I'll be sure to return your kindness somehow in the future. For now, there's something I want to try.
I am not kind. I am a pragmatist. You serve a purpose. When you no longer serve a purpose, or have proved yourself to not be a friend, you shall die.
Well, I have something else I wanted to ask you. I encountered a strange woman with an orb. She had me attuned to it. She said it could let me speak to people outside this area. But I don't remember who exactly it would allow me to speak to. And if I'm connected to those creatures, I was thinking it might give us answers if I tried to tap into
It's like telepathy, only much longer distance. You actually have to know who you're wishing to talk to, and they cannot reach back to you unless you are connected to them.
Ah, I see. She didn't make that part quite clear. Does it have any other use, or was attuning to that thing useless for me?
Well, it makes it to where you can talk to any of us from any distance.
Well, that's certainly useful, at least.
Though, honestly, if I put up a few reception towers, I may be able to come up with something around here that is not magical.
I mean, like a phone line. That'd be interesting for them.
More wireless.
Ah. You said that I can go talk to the mayor about securing a home?
Yes, but you are welcome to use the cot that we had you on.
Alright, I can do that for now, and I'll talk to the mayor about that in the near future. For now, is there anything else that you need me to do? Can I make myself useful somehow?
I don't know what you can do.
Well, I have the feeling I could create something to help you if I was... Well, never mind. Don't want to try that now. We can worry about that later.
Creation is not my issue. You might make it easier for me to make something, but
Yeah.
you may make it faster if it's something extremely large. But
No,
I did
I
notice
mean,
a couple.
I mean, I can make you a helping hand, so to speak. Get things done quicker.
Like a second me.
Not exactly a second you, though. Is there anyone else around here right now besides Kiki and I, out of curiosity?
The whole party.
Alright.
Yep.
And, like, if it doesn't bother you, I believe I could make something, whether it be an old machine or even a person that's not moving anymore, so to speak.
Whilst that may be interesting to watch, I don't think so. Not now, at least.
Ah, very well.
Though I would like to see your technique so that I might see if it is different from my own. Though
It's
that being
related
said,
to those
anyone
things.
else? Have you looked at me closely?
Yes, I've looked at you.
All right. Well, in that my own body is very similar to what we fought, except the fleshy bits are still alive and not necrotic. I am very much like those things.
Yeah, but like I said, when I was in that fight, I could feel something within me. You saw the powers I was able to use.
She's holding back her sarcasm and just, working.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I don't know, but I feel that if I reach out with those same abilities, I might be able to create something like one of those things we fought, but for a better use, not necessarily for violence.
If you're making things that are dead, I believe Saul would have an issue with that.
Not necessarily dead, mechanical. There's a difference. I think I could animate a machine with the powers that I have. That's possible, but we can experiment with that later. For now, I think there's a lot of questions we have to investigate.
And on the subject of Soul, if Soul could give me... Soul, if Alicia can sense, wants to try to do something about the severe lack of memories that you have. So I'll call it... There are no spells that do this that I'm aware of, but like, call it a heal challenge, 3 checks.
Alright, that's very helpful to know.
Assuming that Alicia's cool with it.
Alicia's definitely cool with it.
Gotcha. So
yeah, out of character, Tommy, the thing I was mentioning was that refluff I was talking earlier
right,
about
I'm aware.
before we started the game.
Yep,
thanks.
Okay, so I'm gonna I see that I don't have a Soul Gold and Soul logged in, so I'm gonna just roll those heal checks for him. Bang! Boom! Boom!
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, it's a start. There's... Obviously, Alicia is going to need a lot more than what you're capable of giving, but at least, Alicia, like, your head no longer hurts. You can say that much.
There's also my Extend Lifeline ability, which includes deadly wounds, and I was thinking I would be using that in this context to check for things like cranial trauma and brain injuries that might have evaded the first couple of diagnostic attempts.
That makes sense. Yeah, nothing like that.
Because I was hoping to retcon that as what I was doing during that long time skip.
Makes sense. Yeah, there's no, like, physical damage has been done to Alicia, other than, like, the constant fighting and things. It appears there's some kind of mental block, whether that's, like, something that she has done to herself or her memories have been erased or consequences of falling through extraplanar malfunctions is hard to say. but it's a like magical or psychological thing, not a physical thing.
Parallax.
Yes.
Do keep in mind that if you or your brother, either one, sheds any scales, I would like some.
Once again, that's... You know what? It's, it is a personal request. However, you have proven very capable and intelligent. So, here.
No. I only want ones that would come off because of a course of injury or natural shedding process. Don't force it.
It's fine. He hands you a scale.
Thank you. I must make a gigantic monster with this.
Very well. Now,
She's planning.
what? Okay.
She's planning Godzilla.
Oh, I see. Well,
The party summons Mechagodzilla.
I would ask for your assistance in completing my goal of procuring a cave for myself. These house structures are no good for me. I'm not really built for that kind of life.
Oh, this is important for you. There's also there's a triple triad shop has set up in town.
Oh,
Sorry, a phone call knocked me out.
It's all good.
should have been the first thing that was told to me.
Yep, my bad.
I-
That's on me.
Yeah, what was actually said? Because a phone call knocked me out of the chat.
I would ask that you assist me in finding a cave to live in, because these house structures are not. They will not suffice for me for a abode for myself. I need an actual lair.
All right then.
I will also help you search if you wish.
Yeah. There's also a chance of getting something like stone shape set up on a magic items to take a cave that's already there and alter it to his liking.
I was just planning on burrowing him out one, but yes.
Mm-hmm. It's ideally something that sun cannot reach, somewhere very dark.
Why don't you just make a place underneath your workshop? After all, dragons normally have layers and whatnot, and it could be a freaking room. Put it underneath your shop, put in a bunch of turrets and whatnot, and boom, we have our own personal bank of Takissery.
It would be useful for security as well. Think about it. No
Yeah,
one's
because we
gonna.
would control who comes in and out. Parallax would be the only person with the key directly to the end side of it. And hell, we know he's not normally one to really care a lot about money.
I guess you
That is besides the fact that I could also make an external entrance.
you're missing the point where I am a dragon, a solitary creature that needs a home.
Yeah.
Or by all means, you can build this base and I can guard it, but to go home.
Why can't we like the base into your home?
Because it's my house. Can I go stay over your house? Can I turn your house into a workspace?
I mean, I really just use the couch in the living room. I haven't even gotten any other furniture.
You are talking to people that do not care where they sleep. Yes, I will help you with acquiring a cave. I could also make you a bag to store things in if you also wish to do things that way, but a cave is most doable.
I have a bag to store my hoard in. I just need a place to sleep comfortably.
Well, in that case, the very next thing I will work on is creating a digging machine so that we can build you whatever size cave you wish.
That sounds wonderful. And if you would look into a deeper darkness.
Deeper darkness.
Yes, because I would love to flood. Ideally, my cave would be full of deeper darkness.
That is doable as well.
But we'll work on that. I still need to.
Unless someone else has something that needs to be made first, I would start working on what do you call it? A small construct to start digging out his lair.
Sure. Little driller bot.
Yeah, I have nothing right now. You did mention that you can make items up to a +6 bonus.
I could make them up to a +10.
Yeah, in the future, I'm probably going to want work on his thing first, but I'm probably going to...
Pricing is in FFD20.
Okay, thanks. I'll have to look that up, but I'm going to want a greater plus stat item, but it's going to be a plus to 2 stats, so I'll look that up on later.
Nice.
And send the information to you.
Cool.
So, Alicia will let you know that. Not now, but in the future,
we got it, Nog. We got it.
Indeed.
Yep.
But yeah, I would set up start building the robot.
Wonderful.
This should be done within 8 hours.
Okay.
And I would like to look into this triple triad tournament.
There's not a tournament yet.
What's that?
There's just a shop at the moment.
Oh, wonderful card game.
Card game? You mean like poker, like blackjack, or one of those type of card games?
Similar. The cards come from. Well, you collect the cards. Not everybody has the same collection. Monsters produce them naturally. I've collected them out in the wilderness.
Monsters have cards?
Yes, I don't know exactly why, but for some reason I've collected. He pulls out his bag of holding and he pulls out a big chest and opens it, and it's full of hundreds of these cards that have pictures of monsters on them. Usually they have the monsters have their own card.
Alicia kind of gets wide-eyed looking at the art. Yeah, looking at all the cards. These are beautiful. I can't believe monsters would have something like this.
Well, now you know for sure. Monster Attack has 100 of these. And he pulls out his prize one. It's like, this one is mine, Black Dragon. I personally was given this by the shaman of my tribe, but it's a mystery where monsters get them originally, unless I ask them, which I have not had the opportunity to, because usually I collect them whenever I defeat them.
Well, if there's a tournament, am I allowed to go watch you play? I'd love to learn how to play this game. It looks quite fun. It'd be something good to take my mind off of everything that's happened.
So far, I've only faced the lizard wizard over here in a modified version of the game. I'd be interested to see what this realm has, what rules they use, because it seems that other realms have different rules for triple triad and different names and such.
Interesting. There might have been something like that where I was from. I could remember it, but things are starting to come back. I'd love to watch sometime. So
excellent.
I can catch up. I feel I could catch on pretty quick. Yeah, your deck. Maybe we could go at it right now.
And here we are again. I suppose I'll also say that, Josh, your mic is open as they're talking about triple triad.
I'm a bit of a hoarder is the proper word. Since I'm a dragon, it's not exactly a racist term. It's literally my hoard, so I would be unable to give you any of my cards.
Oh, I didn't mean give. I'm a card.
Yeah, it's simply a function of my being.
That's fine. I never asked you to give me any. I was just asking to borrow a deck for a game. That's understandable.
I would say it comes down to it's similar whenever somebody asks to borrow your children for humanoids. It's like, yes, you're not offended, but at the same time, what are you going to do with my children?
God damn it. What are you going to do with my children? So, point of order, there's no tournament. There's a shop that has been found. That Josh has sponsorified. I made a Dragon Shields joke that I don't know if anybody got, but I made it anyway.
I mean,
I think we cut out. I missed the joke completely.
Yeah, it's like you weren't here at the time.
Oh, okay.
Well, we could, if you wanted to play, Lizard Wizard has enough cards to probably make a couple of bad decks, I'll say.
Oh, but that's cool.
Well, you know how it is. He only has so many rares. He can make one really good deck or two horrible decks.
That makes sense.
And while this is going on, Nigel has been tinkering away with things in the background.
And all of it resolves.
We also discovered that Triple Triad cards work somewhat like Blue Mage scrolls, whereas I can learn spells from certain Triple Triad cards that still have monster essence on them.
Indeed.
That's intriguing.
On that note, don't let me stop you. I just need to check a thing.
No.
Yeah,
That's
I gotcha.
quite intriguing. The one thing I do remember is the workings of magic. You've got me interested in these cards now. Alicia's probably going to go check out the shop if the party's not doing anything mission-y.
Yeah, I was going to go there too.
But you have activated my trap card.
Wrong game, nerd!
Yugi boy.
Excuse you?
Didn't we start out on...
There are cards that have a 0 mana cost activation that are traps in Magic.
That is true.
Instant speed.
And there are motorcycles here, so we have...
There are motorcycles. You are Kaiba. Yeah, we've already done this. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, so Alicia's going to go check out the shop and well, I guess I better get some cards of my own then if I want to learn how to play.
Yeah. And as a point of order, well, not as a point of order. I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't like that. I'm going to quit saying that. I'm going to roll the D100. Boom! Okay. So, while you were gone, and you'd probably know this, I can't imagine that Lizard Wizard is quiet about it. He was able to, for a sizable amount of gil, pick up a very rare alternate art gold chocobo card.
Ooh. Ooh. We have some nice abilities.
They do. That's why I brought it up. Well, you guys head over to the shop. The shop is run by a angry Irish Galkin man. There's actually, at this point, it's probably closed. He made some money from Josh, and that's about all the money that is there that has come through, because no one really plays yet, aside from the mayor who's busy. But there is a picture of the Lizard Wizard standing next to a giant Galkin man. Lizard Wizard looks happy. Galkin looks perplexed. Also looks like someone ran a dagger through the wall at some point, just behind the counter. A clear hallmark of the card sharking.
Yeah.
So then I suppose as we have been doing for the past few sessions, I will ask, what are the plans for next time? Where are we going? What are we doing? There have been a lot of heavy things talked about today. Also, after 8 hours, the cave resolves. And now there is I don't know exactly where you want to put it, but there's an excavator. It can dig it out.
Yeah. Basically, the outskirts, just outside of town.
Gotcha. Okay, can do.
If we're talking plans for next time, I believe there was... Go ahead, Chris.
The excavator is in the shape of a juvenile clockwork dragon.
That's adorable. And it takes its drill form, digs out. Those things are terrifying, also.
Yeah. So on the topic of plans for next time, I remember there were 2 more things out in the wilderness to investigate. There was the other ship that you guys still didn't finish. And then there was the big dragon bones, I believe.
Dragon.
Yes. Dragon Bones. I kind of have a feeling that anything we may have cleared out in the airship is going to return in 1d4 days.
You would be able to very clearly confirm that it is not because of the sending that Soul performed. For lack of a better Final Fantasy term.
Oh,
we
yeah,
actually
him
have a
descending,
cleric.
yeah.
We have a
That's
proper
true.
exorcist in the group who's good at
Yeah,
playing
I forgot about
class.
that.
But
Yeah.
we literally, we have the best class for getting rid of that.
Mhm.
Two of the best classes in one.
Yeah, because he's an exorcist cleric.
We did
But
say that,
yeah,
but-
if you want to go to the Dragon Bones, I'm okay with that because we
Yeah.
actually did go to the ghost ship.
Yeah.
I would also say we might want to wait a couple days, let crafting resolve, and then head on out.
Okay.
Looks over at Parallax, just like, I want to go now.
Well, Parallax's items are actually the next ones on the list, so.
In between this session and next session, if you are going to take out days for crafting, would I be able to see the mayor in that time and arrange for a proper house as well?
All of that will be on camera, but yes.
All right.
Okay, so getting a house, going to Dragon Bones, doing crafting, sounds good to me. Anybody else got anything before we basically take this whole group and jump them over to patron chat?
No problem.
All right. Dope.
I'm good.
Woo! Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Next week, we're going to go look at a dragon that's bigger than the city. Beep. Say bye, guys.
Night.
Bye.